It is week 1 of playoff football for J98 Web TV on mymoinfo.com. Number 3, St. Genevieve is hosting number 6, Kennett this evening. It's the Dragons hosting the Indians in this Week 10 matchup, the first round of win or go home football. The coin toss has already taken place. St. Genevieve did win that coin toss. They decided to defer. I want to tell you a little bit about the schedules coming into tonight, a little bit of similarities between the two teams. 3 losses for St. Genevieve this year. Those 3 losses are to Valley Catholic, Potosi, and Central. Valley's the number 1 ranked team in Class 1. Central, the number 3 ranked team in Class 3. That's 2 of their losses. The 3rd loss came to Potosi here at St. Gen. And that was a team in Potosi that did receive votes during the course of the season to be ranked in the top 10. So these 2 teams, or for St. Gen, the 3 teams that they lost to, all high-quality football teams. And tonight, they come in with a depleted running back with Luke Gettinger sitting for this game as St. Gen just kicks off to Kennett and going up the far sideline across midfield to the 40, pushed down at the 35-yard line. For the Kennett Indians, a great way to start this football game as they're going to be lined up in St. Gen territory on the 35-yard line. A great way to open the game. Your opening kickoff brought to you by Bill Best Insurance, your American family insurance agent in Park Hills, committed to making the big play for their customers. I talked to Coach Pixley, the head coach of Kennett, prior to the game. He told me they're on their 3rd running back this season, but this running back can move. In shotgun, the handoff fake to the motion man, now to the second man coming around from the far side, going right up the middle. Not much of a gain there for Kennett. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. Just into this football game, 11:33 and counting on the clock. And Kennett's offense with the ball on the 39-yard line. A shotgun formation, twins off to the right side. The handoff goes up the middle. A lot of room there. And carrying that up and through, that's Jida Childress for Kennett, getting a good chunk of yards between the tackles on 2nd down, bringing up 3rd and short. So Childress, the first big gain for Kennett of the evening. I mentioned that they're on their 3rd quarterback is Kennett, and they have number 25, Edward Wilson, as their signal caller tonight. But he's more of a runner, and here he goes on cue off to the near side. He's got room. He breaks the tackle at the 20, brought down at the 15-yard line. 16 yards and on call. That was number 24, the number 3 quarterback in this system. Or number 25, rather. That's Edward Wilson for Kennett. Moving the chains and moving the drive. Now down to the 15-yard line. Twins right, twins left, shotgun formation. Wilson awaits the snap in shotgun. Offset to his right. That's number 27, MC Hudson in the backfield. Now after motioning from the far side to the near side, he's going to keep it and run again. No, it's an option pitch. A nice play right there. Set up very well, but St. Gen able to figure it out and pursuit of the football. Kept that play from possibly putting points on the board. Only a 2-yard gain after the pitch. That was number 2, Anthony Hawkins, coming from the far side of the field. Again, 2 receivers on either side. Wilson waits in shotgun, now in motion from the far side to the near side, but the handoff's going to go up the middle. That was MC Hudson taking the ball. That was Hawkins going in motion again, but by the time he even got into the backfield, Hudson had already gone in between the tackles and up the middle for a couple. 9.5 and counting in the first quarter. Again, a 4-receiver set for the Kennett Indians, 2 on either side. Now the handoff comes to Wilson. He's rolling off to his right. He looks to the end zone. Now he pulls it in. He's going to get into the end zone. Nobody even touched him. He reverse field, 16 yards, and Kennett takes a 6-point lead in a hurry. Wilson caps off the drive with a 16-yard touchdown run. And Coach Pixley, I talked to him before the game, he said we might be on our third quarterback, but in about 5 games, kid's over 1,000 yards. So he really gets the offense moving. To imagine what you have to average, or what you have to have per game to average 1,100 yards in that 5 games. You're talking 200-plus yards per game. Now the extra point goes up, and it goes through. So Kennett takes the first lead of this ball game, 7-0. 9:13 left on the first quarter clock, and St. Jen's offense will get their first chance as Kennett kicks off in 30 seconds on J98 Web TV for MIMOinfo.com.
Are you dreaming thoughts of football, sports logo items, and the popular Letterman jackets? Deb Says So in St. Genevieve carries everything you need. But that's not all. Deb Says So also carries DMC thread and quilting supplies. They offer screen printing, embroidery, and now window decals. In their baby section, look for Gund brand bears and blankets. Deb Says So, located on St. Genevieve Drive, next to McDonald's in St. Genevieve.
So a quick scoring drive for the Kennett Indians. They currently lead 7-0. That drive capped off on a 16-yard run from their quarterback, Edward Wilson. Extra point was up and through. All your big drives of the game brought to you by ProCare Automotive in Bonne Terre. Now Kennett set to kick off after a quick scoring drive. Kicking for Kennett is Jaylene Kinnan.
Number 21, Logan Reinhardt. And number 20,
2 men in the back deep inside of the 10-yard line to field the kick. That's Reinhardt on the far side of the field. On the near side is DeRouche. Kinnan puts it in the air. It's a short kick, but it's high. It's going to hang up, fielded at the 25, crossing the 30, and just across the 30-yard line, no further than that. So St. Genevieve's offense gets the chance to come out onto the field, led by sophomore signal caller number 11, Wyatt Lalamandir for the St. Genevieve Dragons. Has put together a decent season for himself. A young quarterback, had a lot of time, started every game this season to get himself all together, or didn't start every game, had actually come in and played well enough early in the season to where now he is the man. He's going to go under center with 2 in the backfield behind him. That's Brewer. That's going to get the handoff on the far side. Barely gets back to the line of scrimmage before he's met by a bunch of Kennett Indians. Your offensive starters for the St. Genevieve Dragons tonight. Left tackle is number 59, A.J. Gons. Left guard is number 68. That's Jet. 56, Schenk at center. 52, Walmack at right guard. And Logan Dowdy, number 51. On the right side of that offensive line as Lalamandir goes back under center with split backs behind him. The handoff is faked, and it's going to be to Brewer coming across the middle, and he's going to get across the first down marker. He needed 9. He'll go ahead and take 10. Brewer moves the chains for St. Genevieve. And 3 quarters when we covered him last time on Web TV, Brewer went over 200 yards with 3 touchdowns. Now, as usual, the lone receiver that spreads out for St. Jen is Drew Schmelsley on the near side of the field. And the handoff exchange is dropped in the backfield. But it looks like St. Jen able to recover it.
recovered by number 16.
That's number 16, Luke Brewster.
Second down.
After the injury to Luke Gettinger a few weeks ago, Brewer slides up from the number 2 running back to be number 1. And to fill the void that Brewer creates is Luke Brewster. Now Lalamandir back under center. The up back is Brewer. And the handoff goes to Brewer up the middle. He just blurts through right into the middle. And somehow there was a big pile up right at the line of scrimmage, and Brewer shot out the other side of it like a rocket. He's going to be just short of the first down. But getting the job done early is Austin Brewer. We don't expect anything less from him, just seeing what he's done in the past. But now in plus territory are the St. Gen Dragons with split backs behind Lalamandir. The near side receiver is Drew Schmelsley. The split back in the backfield on the far side, that's Brewer, and the near side Brewster. Lalamandir takes the snap, hands it off to the up back Brewer, and again he spins through right up the middle, and a hand into the jersey, into the pads, but not called as Brewer is pulled down from behind, but he does move the chains. goes from the 46 down to the 38. So Brewer just getting chunks of yards at a time. Again, split backs. Now Schmelzley on the far side of the field. The offensive line jumps on the hard count. Lalamadeer looks to the sideline. And it looks like they're going to alter the play just a little bit after the defense tipped its hand. Lalamadeer tells Brewster what the play is. Now goes back under center, and the handoff is to Brewster off to the left side. Met at the line of scrimmage, brought down for a short gain. Brewster just his second carry of the afternoon. Lost yards on the first one.
Second down.
Not able to move the football any further than the line of scrimmage on that carry. It's like now it's the I formation. Brewer's the up back. Schmelzley on the far side is the lone receiver. And again, it's going to go up to Brewer. And I don't know how he's moving the pile or getting on the other side of the pile, but he's done it with success on this drive. He's going right up the middle, the offensive line, creating enough room for him, getting in the alley, having the patience to let the hole create and then go through it. Austin Brewer getting the job done so far. 3rd and 7 on the 35. Split backs behind Lalamadeer. Big play here. Now Lalamadeer's going to keep it and be brought down in the backfield. He is sacked. That'll bring up 4th and 9 for the St. Genevieve Dragons as Lalamadeer is brought down in the backfield. Kennett comes up with a big defensive stop. And now St. Gen looks like their offense is going to stay out there. That's Meyer on the near side. Reinhardt spread out. Schmelzley spread out. Schmelzley in the slot to the near side of the field. Lalamadeer is going to line up in shotgun with Brewer as the only receiver in the back in the backfield. On the far side is Giesler. Here's the snap. Lalamadeer drops back, rolls to the near side, throws. Open receivers, Tate Meyer. Did he get it off? He lost the football as he's brought down. The official says Meyer down at the 25, which is good for a first down. So don't worry about losing the football after. He's blown down and moves the chains. So on a 4th and 9, Meyer comes up with a big catch for 13 yards and a first down. Now on the near hash, split backs behind Lalamadeer. On the far side is Brewer on a flag on the field. False start against St. Gen, so now it'll be 1st and 15 on the 30 for the Dragons. On the defensive side of the football for the Kennett Indians across their front four, it's number 50 Johnson, 54 Hilburn, 55 Harris, and 57 Craig. The linebackers are Childress, Pittman, and Hudson, and the corners Gooden, Hawkins, Edgington, and Wilson. So now on a 1st and 15 after the penalty for St. Genevieve. Split backs. Once again, Brewster and Brewer. And the handoff goes to Brewer. Up the middle. Not much there for him. Maybe he got a couple of the penalty yards back. But definitely short, 1 yard short of the original line of scrimmage. So now a 2nd and 11. Now they spot him just a 3-yard gain, so it'll be 2nd and 12. Schmelzley is, again, the lone receiver on the far side of the field. It looks like he's going to have single coverage, and that's Fred Gooden lined up across from Schmelzley. Now here comes the snap, and again up the middle with Brewer. Maybe a yard or two for Brewer, but not a whole lot there for him. It'll be 3rd and 10 after the short gain.
3rd down, 10.
Just inside of 4 minutes remaining with 18 on the play clock. Lalamadeer is going to line up with the I formation. Brewer's the up back, Brewster the deep back. The handoff is up the middle to Austin Brewer. Just a couple yards there for him. It's going to bring up 4th and about 8. Already 8 carries for Austin Brewer, getting a lot of work early. The absence of Luke Gettinger, you imagine Brewer's going to have a big night. Again, 4 receivers, Meyer, Schmelzley, Reinhardt, Giesler across from the near side to the far side. That's Brewer in the backfield. Lalamadeer is in shotgun. Here's the snap, looking left all the way. He's got Reinhardt there. He's going to have to work for the first down. He's not going to get it. A big play on the far side of the field by the Kennett Indians. A big-time defensive stop. That's MC Hudson that came up with the tackle. Reinhardt in the left side in the flats makes the catch, but not able to get to the first down marker as Hudson. A good, efficient wrap-up tackle to bring him down and force the turnover on downs. So Reinhardt had to work if he was going to get that first down, but Hudson able to shut him down. Now the Kennett Indian offense comes back out onto the field.
Ball be on the 19-yard line.
Their last drive capped off by their quarterback, number 25, Wilson. Taking it 16 yards. Now it looks like he's going to have it the same formation and spread it out, but after handing it off, just going to go right back up to the line of scrimmage after the fake.
Tackle made by number 83, Tate Meyer, and number 54.
Wilson is the quarterback for the Indians. Behind him, we'll see number 27, MC Hudson. And it looks like so far, Kennett sends a few receivers out every time. They've got 4 on this one. Wilson is in shotgun, now calls for motion, and the motion just a decoy. The run goes up the middle, but it's going to go nowhere. Stuffed right at the line of scrimmage. Carrying that football is Jahida Childress coming out of the backfield.
And number 51, Logan.
Talking to Coach Pixley for Kennett prior to the game, he said our passing game's not really there, but we can run the football. Hasn't really set up run formations just yet. So he's been spreading out 4 receiver sets and putting his quarterback in shotgun, but that definitely helps the run. And here it is on cue once again. He's going to keep it himself, and he's breaking away. Somebody's going to have to run him down. He crosses midfield. He is gone, buddy. I don't think anybody's catching him. Wilson, 80 yards into the end zone for the touchdown. A big-time run for the Kennett Indians and put 80 more yards on that man's total. He is getting it done all by himself so far. That puts him easily over 100 yards already, but just on 3 carries. He's got 3 carries, 2 touchdowns, and 100 yards even. What an athlete. I can see why he put up 1,100 yards in just a few games. He can run. He outran the entire defense that time. 2 St. Gen Dragons chased him down the side of the field. He made 1 cutback move back inside, and nobody was going to catch him. 80 yards, and here's the extra point. It looks like it's up and through. 14-0 in a hurry. St. Gen in a hole. Going to have to try and dig themselves out of that. We'll get into that in 30 seconds on J98 Web TV on MyMoInfo.com.
If you're thinking about building, remodeling, or have any project in your future, stop by County Do-It Center in St. Genevieve and Bloomsdale. You'll find everything needed for the do-it-yourselfer or professional contractor. Check out the Do It Best quality paint line, one of the fastest growing private brands in the industry. The best look self-priming interior or exterior paints comes with a lifetime warranty, so you know they'll stand the test of time. At County Do-It Center, they have what you need in lumber, hardware, and Do It Best quality paint. County Do-It Center is a proud sponsor of high school athletics.
TG Missouri in Perryville, Missouri is hiring new team members to create products for the largest automotive brands in the world. While working with the most advanced manufacturing technology in the Midwest, TG Missouri employees enjoy a full gamut of benefits, growth opportunity, and personal time off, with earning potential of $11.50 to $13.75 per hour after 90 days. If you're ready to earn more, with benefits and opportunity for growth, then give us a call at 844-WORK4TG. That's 844-967-5484, or visit us online at work4tg.com.
It was a big play touchdown that sent us to the break. Wilson for Kennett going 80 yards on a QB keeper and finding the end zone. Extra point went up and through good. Now we're kicking off to St. Gen. Your big drives of the game brought to you by ProCare Automotive in Bonne Terre. Reinhardt fields it at the 15, going up the far sideline. Had a lot of room, but he's pushed out just across the 35-yard line. The St. Gen Dragons will start a drive on their own 36-yard line. They're down 14-0 in a hole early. Still have a lot of time left in this football game. 1:33 remaining in the first quarter. But St. Gen is in a hole. That big play touchdown. You don't know how, really at this point how good Kennett's offense is, but you know that their quarterback is an athlete. He proved that. Split backs and 2 receivers for St. Gen. That's Meyer and Schmelsley. Spread out in the backfield will be Brewer on the far side and Brewster onto the near side. Lalamadir under center. He fakes the handoff, drops back, throws the pass to Schmelsley, and they get the first down and a couple extra. Drew Schmelsley with his first reception of the game.
First down, St. Genevieve.
Let's see where they spot the football. Just across at the 49, so a big gain there for Schmelsley. And a first down for St. Gen. 1st and 10 on the 49. Same setup, but reversed. Now Meyer on the far side of the field. Schmelsley in the slot. Still split backs. Brewer on the far side. Lalamadir takes the snap. Hands it to Brewster, who bounces onto the outside. A nice play-action move from the quarterback, Wyatt Lalamadir. He fakes the handoff to Brewer. They have done that 8 times already to Brewer up the middle. This time they switch it up, hand it to Brewster onto the outside, and he bounces it out for a 13-yard gain. A good run for Brewster. That's set up by Brewer going up the middle on the opening drive. Now Meyer on the near side and Schmelsley in the slot. The handoff is going to go to Brewer up the middle this time. He breaks through the front line. A flag comes out on the far side of the field. Again, Brewer keeps blowing through the defensive line for Kennett, putting the pressure on the linebackers for the Indians. We'll see what this flag is for. See a motion on the far side.
Sideline warning.
And it is a sideline violation for the Kennett Indians. Now in the NFL, they literally have what they call a get-back coach who takes care of that. That runs down and tells everyone, I'm sure you guessed it, to get back. Maybe they have to implement that for Kennett on the far side. Oh, here we go. 2 receivers. Schmelsley in the slot. The handoff faked up the middle, and Lalamadir is going to be met at the line of scrimmage and brought down. He's going to lose a couple on that one.
Number 11, Wyatt Lalamadir.
A little bit of play action worked on this drive. I don't know if that was intended to be that on that very play, but a broken play results in Lalamadir being tackled. Now 3rd and 4, split back, single receiver is Schmelsley, spread out. Brewer on the far side in the backfield. Brewster offset to the right behind Lalamadir, who goes under center. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolling to the near side. Lone receiver, Schmelsley. He's not going to go for it. He's going to go to the check down. And the check down is Tate Meyer. And it looks like they're going to say he made the catch. And they will move the chains. So that's going to be a big momentum increase for St. Genevieve as Tate Meyer comes up with the short catch. But it's enough to move the chains. Second catch for Tate Meyer. Now again, Schmelsley's the lone receiver spread out. Myers on the near side of the offensive line. Lalamadir looking to the near side of the field for the play. Split backs behind him. Now they're going to hand it off to Brewster, who nearly loses the football, bobbles it, jukes one tackler, and falls forward for a couple of yards. That'll conclude our first quarter with the St. Vincent Indians leading 14-0 in the first round of the playoffs on Week 10. And the number 6 is leading the number 3 14-0 as we head into the second quarter. That's in 1 minute on J98 Web TV on MyMoInfo.com.
Jason, which tractor did you leave on display in Arnold? And which one is on display in Deloge? And which Case IH tractor did you leave on display in Farmington?
Clarissa, shut up. Geez, Dirt Diva, who are you now? The witch?
Clever mower mouse. I'm the queen of the green, and I'm ready for the big green savings event on our red tractors. Green as in saving customers money.
I get it. Mean green.
Let's just see who the mean one is when I'm saving our customers thousands of dollars on all makes and models of our tractors. little, big, and everything in between. Just follow the yellow brick road to Flig's Equipment and see the green you save in your wallet.
Fleeks Equipment, Highway 32 in St. Genevieve. Online, fleeks.com. Hurry in today for savings so big you think you've landed somewhere over the rainbow.
As we await the start of the second quarter, it's 14-0. The number 6 seed Kennett Indians leading on the road over the St. Gen Dragons 14-0. I want you to know we're brought to you this evening by Kettle Hut Smokehouse in Crystal City, TG Missouri in Perryville, and the St. Genevieve Care Center. Bringing you Week 10 coverage, Week 1 of the playoffs on web TV on MIMOinfo.com. Lala is going to go under center. Schmelsley spread out to the far side of the field. The handoff's going to go to Brewer. Brewer misses it, shakes one tackler into the backfield. Off to the right side. Not a lot there for him, but he's going to get a couple out of it. Austin Brewer, 9 carries. 8 of those all in the first quarter, getting a lot of the payload tonight. It's a 3-yard gain there, brings up 3rd and 5. Again, they're going to go with that split back single receiver set. Meyer is on the far end of the formation on the offensive line. The split backs behind Lala are Brewer and Brewster. Brewer on the near side. Schmelsley's that lone receiver. This handoff is going to go up the middle. Brewster gets just short of the 5-yard line. A good gain for Brewster. Will move the chains. That's on consecutive carries now, a 13 and a 9-yard gain. Now it'll be 1st and goal to go on the 6-yard line for the Dragons, trying to get on the board. Lala goes under center. One receiver is Schmelsley, and it looks like they have a false start. It looks like Tate Meyer moved early. The flag comes out, and 5 yards back. It was 1st and 6. It's going to back them up to 1st and 11 now. That's the second false start on the St. Gen offense. You don't want false starts ever because they're just discipline penalties, but especially at your home field. Just inside of 11 minutes to go in the first half, Lala takes the snap, hands it off to Brewer. Brewer pushes off one tackler. He's going to have to fight for the touchdown. He's not going to get it, but he's going to get very close. He gets all the penalty yards back and then some. And this ball should be spotted at the 1-yard line. I'd be surprised if it was anywhere else. So it's about at the 1.5, so remotely close. Lala is going under center, split backs behind him. The handoff, Brewer bounces to the left, touchdown Dragons, and they cut into the lead. It's now 14-6 with the extra point to come, and Schmelsley is usually automatic for the extra points. You can hear the band going now. St. Gen right back into it after falling down 14-0, about to cut that lead in half. A lot of time still remains in the first half, and Schmelsley has to kick this extra point now. Snap, hold, kick. Money. This one would have been good from 40 yards away. He nearly shot that one behind the fence back there. It's unbelievable. A kicker in high school is so valuable. It's almost immeasurable. Because if you have the advantage to where you can kick an extra point, you can add 3 from the 20-yard line. If you can hit from really 20 yards and out, that's just an asset a lot of high school teams don't have. And it might be a situation we may see later, as this game looks like it has the makings of being a close matchup now, 14-7 after the 1-yard run from Austin Brewer to put St. Gen on the board. Your big drives of the game brought to you by ProCare Automotive in Bonne Terre. Now 10:25 to go in the first half. St. Gen into the end zone. Now they're going to have to give that ball back to Kennett. And Kennett's had success running the football so far, and St. Gen's going to have to find a way to shut that down. Ball on the tee at the 40. Schmelsley set to swing the leg. Here we go. He squibs it. It skips through the second and third line. Bobbled at the 20-yard line, but then picked up and across to the 30 and down at the 35-yard line. And the ball was bobbled deep in the backfield.
53.
Back to field that was number 2, Anthony Hawkins for Kennett. Had a little bit of difficulty with it, but able to bring it in. Surprisingly, gets out to the 36-yard line. Very close to being whistled down as he picked up the ball. He was laying on the ground when he did. Spreading it out again is Kennett. That's Pixley on the near side of the field. Going in motion, that's number 14, Fred Gooden. The handoff doesn't go to the motion man. That handoff is going to be nowhere. It's tackled at the line of scrimmage. That was Joe Pittman getting the carry.
By number 56, Morgan Shank.
So a number of running backs
9.
being used so far for the Kennett Indians.
The Indians.
Now we get a look at number 6, Pittman. He only gets a yard, 2nd and 9. Again, 4 receivers, and the handoff does go to the motion man to the near side and met just a few yards across the line of scrimmage. That was number 23, Tom Edgington. So yet another running back comes out of the backfield
Third down. Kennett.
for the Kennett Indians.
2-yard line of the
So now they're going to have a 3rd down ahead of them. It'll be 3rd and 5 on the 42. 4 receiver set, trips on the left. Single receiver onto the near side is Pixley. Wilson takes the snap, looks immediately to his left, throws the ball to Hawkins. Hawkins has to reverse to the near side of the field. Gonna be short of the 1st down by a couple of yards. And a flag comes out on the far side of the field.
Number 21, Logan Reinhardt, and number 51.
The officials going to get together at midfield as the far back judge was right on top of the play. Back judge doesn't throw the flag. The official on the far side of the field throws the flag. Here comes the signal from the white hat. And it's a penalty on the St. Gen Dragons. A mistake on a 3rd down. And now a 1st down for Kennett after the penalty. Now the coaching staff for St. Gen wants the explanation. An awkward situation to have to explain that. On a 3rd down, you had it snuffed out and stopped short of the marker. A penalty backs you up and resets the downs for the Kennett Indians. While we trudge down the field, we'll let you know we're brought to you by Midwest Sports Center. Deb Says So in St. Gen, and the County Do It Centers in St. Genevieve, along with Fleeg's Equipment and Earth Mother Health Foods. 9 minutes left to go in the 1st half. Wilson in shotgun for the Indians. Takes a snap. Now it's an option. They're going out to the far side of the field. A good move by Giesler on the far side of the field. He went ahead and picked up the running back inside of 5 yards, forcing Wilson to bounce it out around the option. And when he did so, he was pushed out of bounds as St. Gen showing good pursuit to the football. A short gain for Wilson. 4 carries, 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards. Not a bad start to your day. Pixley spread out to the near side. Hawkins in the slot on the near side of the field. Wilson stands in shotgun. Now motion is Hawkins. Handoff does not go to the motion man, and it's fumbled in the back. And nearly coming up with the football was St. Gen. It bounced off of the quarterback back to a St. Genevieve Dragon, and that's the first turnover of the game. And St. Gen looks like they have come out and taken advantage of an error by the Kennett Indian quarterback, Edward Wilson. Now St. Gen trailing by 1 score, 8:47 to go in the 1st half, and the offense is on the field, starting a drive on their own 41-yard line. Schmelsley lined up on that near side. Handoff into the backfield. It's Brewster, spins off 1 tackle. Nice move from the young running back. Not going to get the 1st down, but a 9-yard gain for Luke Brewster. Brewster, 5'6", 134-pound freshman. Great experience for the future of the St. Gen Dragon football team with Luke Brewster out here as a freshman and getting the job done. A 9-yard gain for him, so now he has consecutive carries of 13, 9, and 9. Now Schmelzley, again, that lone receiver on the near side. So now we have an infraction once again
Flag on the play.
on the Kennett Indians. That'll award the Dragons a first down. It was a 2nd and 1 on the 49. Now they're going to go ahead and move up 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 10 on the 44-yard line. So a lot of time left on this first half clock, 8:19. And St. Gen has a great chance to tie this game up. Now, Lalamandir, after the snap, he's looking to roll to the near side. He's got Schmelzley, who catches it at the 10. He's into the end zone. An amazing catch by Drew Schmelzley. 45-yard touchdown, and this game is about to be tied up. Lalamandir took the snap, rolled to the near side. A lot of pressure. He lobbed one up to Schmelzley, was able to run under it and make the fingertip grab to get into the end zone. And now, after making the touchdown reception, Schmelzley can tie this game up. A fantastic catch. And a great, great show of effort by Schmelzley to track it down. And Lalamandir able to get the pass off under pressure. Now, here's the extra point. Up and through, and we are tied. 14-14, 8:04 to go in the first half. A 45-yard touchdown catch ties it up for the St. Gen Dragons. Your big drives brought to you by ProCare Automotive in Bonds Hair. 8:04 on the clock, tied at 14. Kennett gets the football when we come back in 1 minute on J98 Web TV on MIMOinfo.com.
Did you know that Earth Mother Health Foods LLC is owned and operated by our family for 24 years here in Farmington? This is Mary Lee. I would like to thank all of our customers for allowing myself and our well-informed staff to help you live a healthier life the natural way. We have expanded to now 4,000 square feet to include V-Tree Originals, custom tie-dye and art by our daughter Vicki the artist. That's Earth Mother Health Foods in downtown Farmington.
There's a new barbecue place in Crystal City where homemade is the only way. Kettle Hut Smokehouse specializes in blues, brews, and BBQ. Most everything they serve starts out as ingredients, not boxes, bags, or cans. From slow-smoked fresh baby backs down to the sauces they serve, all made on site. If down home, made from scratch, melt-in-your-mouth barbecue sounds good, Kettle Hut's will be your new favorite restaurant. Come see why folks are saying Kettle Hut Smokehouse is hands down the best around.
All right, we are tied up after a big pitch and catch from Lalamandir to Schmelzley. Now it's Giesler kicking off. Giesler kicked a line drive down to the 20, fielded by Hawkins, out to the 35-yard line, and he's going to be brought down at the 35. And it looks like, actually, I thought for a second that Giesler was the one that got down there and made the play, but it was actually Logan Dowdy that got down there first. Giesler kicked off that time. Usually we see Schmelzley kicking off, but I'm sure after the long touchdown reception and then having to kick the extra point, give him a little timeout. Kennett going to spread it back out again. They're running the four receiver sets. Pixley and Gooden are on the near side. That's Hawkins in the far slot. Wilson in shotgun, now sends Hawkins in motion, and the handoff fake to Hawkins. Wilson keeps it himself up the middle. They got to bring him down. An 11-yard gain, and I'll tell you, when he gains an 11-yarder, it looks like the average running back gaining about 5 yards. He gets there so quickly that you don't realize it. If he gets into open space, kiss him goodbye, because he's not coming back. Already has an 80-yard run for a touchdown and a 16-yard touchdown run. Again, four receivers, Pixley, Gooden on the near side. And looking to throw this time is Wilson, and he pump fakes, pulls it down, and now he's going to go off to the near side. Breaks one tackle, gets 5 yards before he's brought down at the St. Gen 45-yard line. Wilson looked like he might actually come up and throw. Haven't seen him throw a pass yet.
Second down, 4.
And St. Gen able to tie this game up through the passing game just a moment ago. Not what you would expect to see. And talking to Coach Pixley prior to this, I didn't expect to see four receiver sets from Kennett all night long, but here we go again. Wilson is in shotgun with two receivers on either side, and here comes the option to the near side. Here's the flip. It's going to go to Hudson. Hudson's going to get the first down. before he's pushed out of bounds at the 36-yard line. So 9-yard gain for Hudson.
Number 21, that's Logan Reinhardt.
So the option on top of having that 4-receiver set is going to be extremely difficult for the St. John defense to cover. You have to make the decision. Do you want to cover 2 of those receivers with linebackers so you can keep pursuit on the quarterback, or are you going to run out a lot of your secondary and put them up to the task of tackling this athletic quarterback? Now he goes in shotgun. Here comes the motion man, Hawkins. It's not going to go to Hawkins. It's going to go up the middle, and that is Childress. A decent gain for Childress. It's going to be short of the first down, but it looks like about 7 yards there for him. We've already seen 4 different runners for Kennett. 6:29 on the play or on the game clock, 17 on the play clock, and counting. We're inside of 10 seconds on the play clock. Kennett still not set. 7 seconds, still not set. 4 receivers, now they're getting set. Wilson in shotgun, has to snap the football. 1 second, 0, and they get the play off. He's going to fake to the motion man, hurdle one man, but he's caught in the air by DeRouche, and DeRouche drives him into the turf. It looks like it was enough for the first down. He only needed 1, able to get a couple. And the drive stays alive as they move down the field, tied at 14, trying to regain the lead. At one point, they led this game 14-0, and that was all in the first quarter. Again, 2 receivers. Wilson in motion, looks left. He looks like he's going to throw, and he's going to throw, and it's a wobbler, and it's picked off inside the 10-yard line. That thing quacked the whole way, and Seibel came up with the INT. He had 2 interceptions the last time I watched him. There's another one to his season total. And a drive that was moving down the field for the Kennett Indians results in a turnover. Now St. John's offense gets a chance to come back out onto the field with 5.5 to go in the first half. Lalamadeer is under center. Again, split backs. They do have Meyer on the far side of the offensive line. That's Schmelzley as the lone receiver to the near side. There's the snap. The handoff to Brewer over to the right side. He's going to bounce through the tackles. And he's going to be brought down after about 5, maybe 4 yards. Austin Brewer carrying the payload today. His 11th carry with still 5 minutes to go in the first half. Again, same formation, split backs, Schmelzley spread out. 15 on the play clock. Lalamadeer under center. There's the snap. The handoff faked up to Brewster. Brewster's going to bounce it off to the left side, get nowhere. Not much there for Brewster. Right back to the line of scrimmage. They're going to spot him forward progress for a yard. His 6th carry. So 17 rushing plays for St. John already. 15 on the play clock and counting. St. John now breaks into their formation. Lalamadeer, it's going to be a tight formation. No receivers this time. And the handoff is to Brewster. And Brewster's going to be caught in the backfield. He's going to lose a couple. And that was on a 3rd and 3. So now you have a tough situation. You've got 4th and what's going to be 4th and 6 on the 21-yard line. You're going to have to punt the football. A 3-yard loss to Brewster. And Schmelzley's going to have to punt. And Hawkins is in St. John territory, set to field it. Now at the 50. Schmelzley's kick gets away. It's a end-over-end bounce, and it takes a Kennett hop. And Tate Meyer there to field it at the 46-yard line. And that's where St. John is going to have to try and shut Kennett down, as the Indians are going to start in plus territory with just under 4 minutes to go in the first half. It's going to be a 1st and 10 on the 46 for the Indians, with plenty of time on the clock to get in the end zone with the playmaking capability that their quarterback possesses. You know, he might be the third string quarterback, but it's very likely that he was probably one of the high depth chart running backs. Now he hands it off up the middle, does Wilson. Childress takes the ball 5 yards before he's brought down. The play action capability for the Kennett Indians can come from really anywhere. They have Gooden as a receiver that lines up in the slot, goes in motion. Hawkins can do the same. Pixley is on the outside edge. Now they have 2 receivers on the far side, 2 on the near side, and Wilson in shotgun. Takes a shotgun snap, quickly looks to the near side. Looks like they wanted to set up a screen, but one blocker short as DeRouche comes up and makes the play. A short gain there.
To number 2, Hawkins.
That's the first completion for the Kennett Indians. Just their second pass. The first one resulted in an interception. Now 3rd and 2. Twins left, twins right. Pixley, Hawkins on the near side. Gooden in the slot on the far side. Wilson in shotgun. He's going to keep it himself. Go up the middle, bounce outside. He's going to get the first down and a couple extra. He's met by Giesler and DeRouche. Able to keep him from breaking a big play, but gets enough for the first down. This kid's going to have some numbers by the end of the day. They're going to have to shut him down at the line of scrimmage. Pixley is the near side receiver. That's Edgington in the slot. Childress in the backfield. Now Gooden, the motion man. Handoff to Childress up the middle. A few yards there for him. Met by the linebackers this time, but able to get into that second layer of the defense. So 2nd and 5. And on the 25 are the Kennett Indians. They were deep in St. John territory on the previous drive that ended in an interception. It was actually picked off by Logan Seibel inside the 10. So now here we go, trips left. And a tight end on the near side of the formation. And it's going to go to the far side. It's a quarterback keeper, and he's brought down in the backfield. That was Dalton Giesler getting there first. Able to track Wilson down.
5, Dalton Giesler. 3rd down.
See if they give him positive yards on that. They give him 1 yard, so he has yet to have a carry for a loss. So here we go, another 3rd down on this drive, 3rd and 4, just over 90 seconds to go in the first half. A tight formation, and they're going to let Wilson keep it himself, tripped up in the backfield, not able to get the momentum going. It's going to bring up a 4th and short. Wilson had open space, just tripped up coming out of the break. Was able to get 3 yards still, but 4th and 1. Kennett calls a timeout, so we'll take a break ourselves. 1:16 left to go in the first half. We're tied at 14. Kennett's offense in a tough spot when we come back. It's 4th and 1 on the 20 in a pivotal drive. It's coming up next on J98 Web TV on MIMOinfo.com.
There's no place like home, but when age or illness turns home from a place of happiness into one of loneliness, it may be time to consider a healthcare facility. Whether your need is short-term rehabilitation or long-term care, St. Genevieve Care Center offers high-quality medical care complemented by a dedicated staff who offer warmth, wisdom, and the experience of caring, which makes their facility the next best thing to being home. Dignity, respect, care. St. Genevieve Care Center, 1010 St. John Drive in St. Genevieve. Medicaid, Medicare, private pay, private insurance, and hospice accepted.
1 minute, 16 seconds to go in this half. We're tied at 14. Kennett is looking at a 4th and 1 on the St. John 20-yard line. Huge play coming up. 3 receivers are on the near side. That's Pixley, Edgington, Hawkins. Wilson in shotgun with Childress. Wilson keeps it himself, just has to get a yard. It looks like he got it. It looks like he might have got it. He had to get to the 19. I think he got down to the 18. They give him a couple yards. That's his 10th carry. Well over 100 yards. So now 1st and 10 on the 15. 2 receivers on either side. Now the motion man is Hawkins. The handoff goes to Childress. Childress gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard. This has been an exciting game so far. And we're going to have another timeout as Kennett wants to get points out of this. We're inside of a minute, tied at 14. And Kennett's in the red zone trying to take the lead before the break. We're coming back in 30 seconds on J98 Web TV on MIMOinfo.com.
It's fall clearance time at Midwest Sports Center in Farmington. Save on 2014 Polaris Sportsman 400 starting at $51.99. Suzuki King Quads for just $49.99. Or the 2015 Polaris Sportsman 570 for just $59.99. And Can-Am Spyder starting at $13,699. It's fall clearance time at Midwest Sports Center, Highway 67, Farmington. On the road, off the road, or on the water, the ultimate outdoor toy store has it. Midwest Sports Center. No bull, just great savings.
51 seconds on the game clock. And it's going to be 2nd and 10. We're tied at 14. Kennett ran out to a 14-point lead in the first quarter. St. John scores 14 in the second quarter, but Kennett is inside the red zone, looking at a 2nd and 10 on the 15-yard line. Gonna have 3 receivers on the near side of the field. Pixley, Hawkins, Gooden, Wilson in shotgun. Childress in the backfield. No, that's Hudson in the backfield. The fake is to Hudson. Wilson bouncing around to the left side. He's got room. Did he get into the end zone? Touchdown, Wilson. What a run. This kid can move out of the backfield. 15 yards, and he finds the end zone again. His 3rd touchdown run of the first half gives Kennett 20 points with 42 seconds to go in this first half, looking to add the extra point now. Kennett with a big-time scoring play right there before the first half comes to an end. Here comes the kick. The kick is up, and the kick is through. 21-14. A 15-yard touchdown run by Wilson. His 3rd of the first half. 42 seconds to go, and Kennett leads this by 1 score, 21-14. St. John's football with 42 seconds left to go in the first half. Next on Web TV on MIMOinfo.com.
Are you dreaming thoughts of football, sports logo items, and the popular Letterman jackets? Deb Says So and St. Genevieve carries everything you need. But that's not all. Deb Says So also carries DMC thread and quilting supplies. They offer screen printing, embroidery, and now window decals. In their baby section, look for Gund brand bears and blankets. Deb Says So, located on St. Genevieve Drive, next to McDonald's in St. Genevieve.
If you're thinking about building, remodeling, or have any project in your future, stop by County Do-It Center in St. Genevieve and Bloomsdale. You'll find everything needed for the do-it-yourselfer or professional contractor. Check out the Do It Best quality paint line, one of the fastest growing private brands in the industry. The best look self-priming interior or exterior paints comes with a lifetime warranty, so you know they'll stand the test of time. At County Do-It Center, they have what you need in lumber, hardware, and Do It Best quality paint. County Do-It Center is a proud sponsor of high school athletics.
Our kick, fielded by Logan Reinhardt, brings it out to the St. Genevieve 30-yard line. 36 seconds for St. John's offense to make something happen. I bet we're going to see some big play strikes here. But St. John's still has all 3 timeouts remaining. So you can go for crossing routes, deep crosses. You can do shallow crosses, whatever you're thinking. But you're going to have to at least get across the 25-yard line for Schmelsley to have a realistic opportunity to kick a field goal. Lalamadir rolls to his right, comes up throwing. He's got one over the top of the defense, and coming up with it's Drew Schmelsley. I can't believe he just caught that and waltzes into the end zone. Unbelievable. 71-yard touchdown catch on the first play. 5 seconds, and he gets into the end zone. Drew Schmelsley strikes again. What a play by the St. John offense. 5 seconds, and they're going to be able to have an opportunity to tie this game up. I certainly didn't expect that. I thought they would go for a big play. I didn't think it would go to the end zone on the very first play of the drive. 5 seconds, and St. John gets into the end zone. Wow. Here comes the extra point. A bad snap, but it's put down and kicked. 21-21, 5 seconds, and St. Gen goes 71 yards and ties this game up. We're going to be back in 30 seconds, and it'll be Kennett's football. They've got 31 seconds to try and regain the lead next on Web TV.
TG Missouri in Perryville, Missouri is hiring new team members to create products for the largest automotive brands in the world. While working with the most advanced manufacturing technology in the Midwest, TG Missouri employees enjoy a full gamut of benefits, growth opportunity, and personal time off, with earning potential of $11.50 to $13.75 per hour after 90 days. If you're ready to earn more, with benefits and opportunity for growth, then give us a call at 844-WORK4TG. That's 844-967-5484, or visit us online at work4tg.com.
We are all tied at 21. 31 seconds to go. It was a 5-second drive, one play, 71 yards from Lalamandir to Schmelsley to get in the end zone. And we're tied at 21 with 31 seconds to go. After Kennett takes the 21-14 lead, you think they would have momentum on their side, but St. Gen just robbed any momentum that Kennett had. Now set to kick off, it's going to be Giesler again. Here comes the kick, and he puts a squib into it, and it's an onside kick, nearly recovered by the Dragons, but Kennett able to fall on it. They'll have the drive start on their own 47-yard line with 28 seconds to go. I would say 28 seconds isn't a lot of time, but it only took St. Gen 5 seconds for a 71-yard touchdown drive. Well, it only took one play, but that being said, Kennett has that same ability as they've already had an 80-yard touchdown run today. Now a 5-receiver set. Trips to the right, Twins to the left. Wilson by himself in the backfield in shotgun. Now in motion, that's Gooden. The handoff, or the snap, is dropped in the backfield by Wilson. He's going to be brought down for a sack. Wilson is going to be charged with a loss for the first time. He's going to be brought down in the backfield for the 3-yard loss. Now we'll have a timeout by Kennett with 13 seconds to go in the first half. Tied at 21. It'll be a 2nd and 13 in 30 seconds for the Kennett Indians on MIMOinfo.com.
Jason, which tractor did you leave on display in Arnold? And which one is on display in Deloge? And which Case IH tractor did you leave on display in Farmington?
Larissa, shut up. Jeez, Dirt Diva, who are you now? The witch?
Clever mower mouse. I'm the queen of the green, and I'm ready for the big green savings event on our red tractors. Green as in saving customers money.
I get it. Mean green.
Let's just see who the mean one is when I'm saving our customers thousands of dollars on all makes and models of our tractors. Little, big, and everything in between. Just follow the yellow brick road to Fliggs Equipment and see the green you save in your wallet.
Fliggs Equipment, Highway 32 in St. Genevieve. Online, Fliggs.com. Hurry in today for savings so big you think you've landed somewhere over the rainbow.
Did you know that Earth Mother Health Foods, LLC, is owned and operated by our family for...
Well, our first half is just about to come to an end on a 4-receiver set for the Kennett Indians. Wilson came up with guns blazing, tried to throw one into the end zone. DeRouche runs under it and picks it off. That's the second interception for the St. Gen defense. A good play to run under it by DeRouche. Reaches the hands out, makes a fingertip grab. Now with just 4 seconds on the clock, St. Gen will have a 1st and 10 on their own 5, so you can pretty much just take a knee and get out of here with this game tied. And that's exactly what they're going to do. We're going to end the first half all tied at 21. After taking a 14-point lead, the Kennett Indians now are tied. St. Gen puts up 21 second quarter points, and we're in for a battle this evening. It's the number 6, Kennett, playing the number 3, St. Genevieve. As we start the second half, 21-21 is our score, and Kennett set to kick off to St. Gen.
Kicking off for Kennett.
St. John tied this game at 21 with 30 seconds to go in the first half, and they get a chance to take their first lead of the evening as they take the kickoff to open the second half, fielded by Reinhardt, who brings it out to the 25-yard line. Want you to know we're brought to you by Fleegs Equipment in St. Genevieve, Earth Mother Health Foods in Farmington, the County Do-It Centers in St. Gen, and Deb Says So of St. Genevieve, bringing you the first week of playoff football on Web TV. This is week 10 of the season, but first week of playoff football. St. Gen's offense comes out to start the second half. And it looks like they're going to spread it out a little bit as Schmelzley goes to the far side. That's Reinhardt in the slot. Lalamadir under center, rolling to his right, looking downfield. He's going to throw it and skip it in between Meyer and Schmelzley as it falls incomplete. Lalamadir has had a pretty good day so far. 2 touchdown passes. He is now 6 for 7, hasn't had too many incompletions. That's really his first there. Schmelzley's made 2 spectacular catches for touchdowns, and now here we go again. Lalamadir rolling out to his right. Throws, open receiver, Meyer at the 40, the 50, cutting down, he's at the 40-yard line. A big-time play, going 37 yards, Tate Meyer. And again, this young quarterback, Wyatt Lalamadir, continues to impress. First down and in plus territory are the Dragons. Now on the Kennett 38-yard line. Lalamadir is under center in that same formation. Now just Brewer in the backfield. They ran split backs the whole first half, but this St. John coaching staff and team, great halftime adjustments. And Lalamadir takes the snap, rolls right. He's got an open receiver, Schmelzley. 5 yards out. Schmelzley coughs up the football. Turnover as St. John was moving down the field. The ball pops out and recovered by the Kennett Indians. Kennett coming up with their first takeaway. And at a big time right there. The ball just shot out on the hit. And Schmelzley was open just short of the 30-yard line. The hit popped the ball out, and Kennett brings the offense out after taking the football away. Again, 4 receiver sets, much as we saw in the first half from the Indians. Wilson puts a man in motion. That's Edgington. Handoff is to the motion man. Coming around to the near side and across to the 40. Breaks the tackle. 40, 30. I don't know if they can catch him. Running him down from behind is number 2, Logan Seibel. But a huge gain on the play. All the way down inside the 10-yard line. Looks like they're going to spot him down at the 11. So 52 yards for Edgington and the Kennett Indians. The first time they've really utilized him out of the slot as the motion man. And it works quite well. Now Wilson takes a shotgun snap, keeping it himself, bouncing it in between the tackles. Not going to get into the end zone, but he's going to get down inside the 5, probably down at the 3-yard line. So another 9 yards onto Wilson's total. His name is Edward Wilson, but I'll tell you, he reminds me a lot as far as the running of Russell Wilson. So now 3 receivers lined up on the right side. 1 receiver on the left. Wilson in shotgun. Childress in the backfield. Handoff is to Childress. Up the middle, bouncing through. No signal yet. There it is. Touchdown, Kennett Indians. 6 more, and they capitalize on the mistake by the St. Genevieve Dragons. The Schmelzley fumble turns into 6 points for the Kennett Indians, trying to add 1 more. This game has just gone back and forth, but St. Gen has yet to lead. They have trailed now on 3 different occasions and been able to tie it up on 2 of those. Here comes the extra point. The kick is up. It looks like it's left, but no good. That might come back to be a big play in this game as the extra point goes wide left, and it's 27-21. Kennett out front. Still a lot of time to go. 10 minutes and 11 seconds remain in the third quarter. St. Gen football when we come back trailing by 6.
Are you dreaming thoughts of football, sports logo items, and the popular Letterman jackets? Deb Says So in St. Genevieve carries everything you need. But that's not all. Deb Says So also carries DMC thread and quilting supplies. They offer screen printing, embroidery, and now window decals. In their baby section, look for Gund brand bears and blankets. Deb Says So, located on St. Genevieve Drive, next to McDonald's in St. Genevieve.
The turnover turns into points for the Kennett Indians. A Drew Schmelsley fumble in Kennett territory quickly goes back the other way, and the Indians put 6 on the board. Unfortunately, they miss the extra point, which may come back to haunt them. They lead this one by 6 at 27-21. After a short touchdown run by Childress, your big drives of the game brought to you by ProCare Automotive in Bonne Terre. Now Kennett kicks off to the Dragons once again, and a booming kick way into the end zone and out of the back. A great kick from the Indian kicker out of the back of the end zone, and the Dragons will start on their own 20-yard line. The kicker is Jaylene Kinnan, a sophomore for the Indians. So the offense of the Dragons gets to come back out onto the field as the last drive ended on that fumble that Kennett turned into points. So the Dragons trail again for the third time in this game. Lalamadeer under center, handoff to Brewer. Brewer barely gets across the line of scrimmage. He was stopped at the line of scrimmage, pushed forward. Maybe they'll give him forward progress and a yard. The Dragons trail by 1 score. They've trailed by 14 at most today. Lalamadeer goes under center. He's rolling to the near side, has Schmelsley open, didn't look that way, and he's going to keep it himself and run. He got pretty much to where Schmelsley was at open, up to the 35-yard line, the St. Gen 35-yard line. A 14-yard carry for Lalamadeer. He hasn't done a whole lot of running today, but he is an effective runner when he decides to do so. Here comes St. Gen moving down the field now with a 3-receiver set. Twins on the left, single receiver to the right side. Brewer in the backfield. Brewer is just a design blocker this time. Throwing over to Giesler, and the pass a little bit off to the right of Giesler. Looked like they confused routes between the two of each other. Giesler was running a seam down the middle, and I think that Lalamadeer was looking for a deep out route to the far sideline, and Giesler never made the cut. The throw was close, but still it falls as an incompletion. Here we go, 2nd and 10 on the St. Gen 36-yard line. Now 2 receivers are on the near side of the field. That's Schmelsley and Reinhardt in the slot. Brewer, the lone man in the backfield. They do have Tate Meyer on the end of the offensive line. Meyer is going to roll out as a blocker as Brewer takes the handoff up the middle. And it'll be a 3rd and short after a 6-yard gain for Austin Brewer. Brewer, 13 carries on the afternoon or evening. Again, that 2-receiver set with Giesler and Meyer on the end of the offensive line. Handoff is to Brewer. Brewer might get back to the marker. He breaks 1 tackle, and I'm pretty sure he's going to get that first down now after evading 1 Kennett Indian and shaking 1 tackle. He gets the first down yardage, now 1st and 10 on the 48. Austin Brewer keeps the drive alive. Now the receivers flip to the far side. Reinhardt still in the slot. Schmelsley spread out. That's Giesler on the near side of the offensive line as the tight end. Meyer on the far side, and Brewer as the single back. The handoff is to Brewer, up the middle. Misses 1 shoelace tackle across to the 40, 35, pushed out at the 30-yard line. An 18-yard run for Austin Brewer on his 15th carry of the evening. Quietly putting together a nice night He's got one of the 3 St. Gen touchdowns
Down for the Dragons.
and is slowly making his way down the field as play after play after play. They're riding Brewer down by 6. A 2 tight end, 2 receiver formation. Tight ends are Giesler, Meyer. Giesler's on the near side of the offensive line. Meyer on the far side. Logan Reinhardt is in the slot. Schmelzley is the spread out receiver. Now Lalamandeer's rolling right, and a flag comes out. I think it's going to be illegal motion on the Dragons. We'll have to wait and see. The pass falls incomplete, intended for Reinhardt.
Pass incomplete. Flag on the play.
Here comes the official to signal what the penalty is. And the penalty is against the St. Gen Dragons.
Illegal shift.
And
The Dragons.
you could tell that that penalty was going to be called because on the far side of the far side receivers, Reinhardt and Schmelzley kind of turned and said something to each other. And at that time, Schmelzley jumped inside a couple yards, and that was the illegal motion. Now Schmelzley and Reinhardt are on the near side by the coaching staff and having a word with one of the coaches. Reinhardt back into the slot. Again, that 2 tight end, 2 receiver formation. Brewer's the single back. Lalamandeer comes out and rolls to the near side, looks back to the far side, throws back to the far side, had Giesler there open at the first down marker, overthrew him. Giesler was trying to turn to make the play and slipped, and it falls incomplete. So after being 7 for 6, Lalamandeer now 10 for 7. 8:09 still to go in the third quarter. St. Gen down by 6 points at 27-21. Lalamandeer in shotgun for the first time tonight. Now he looks to the screen pass to Reinhardt. He's got it set up down to the 20-yard line before he's pushed out of bounds. And a flag comes out late. The flag came right where Reinhardt was pushed out. And it came after he was out of bounds, so we'll see exactly what the call is. And that is a big-time penalty against the Kennett Indians. So it was a big screen setup to Logan Reinhardt anyway. Then you tack on the penalty.
Personal foul.
Coach Pixley does not seem pleased on the far side of the field. So what was at the 20 is now at the 10. A 1st and 10 for the St. Gen Dragons. 2 tight ends set. 2 receivers on the right. Brewer as the single back. Under center is Lalamandeer. He works the hard count. Gets the defense to tip its hand. Now he looks to the sideline for the new play. The receivers move around. Now they're set. The handoff is to Brewer up the middle. Brewer gets back to the line of scrimmage after taking the handoff from Lalamandeer, but not much after that. It'll be 2nd and 8. They spot him 2 yards. The clock continues to run at 7:44. 18 on the play clock. 2nd and 8 on the 9. Or 2nd and 8 on the 8, rather. Lalamandeer fakes the handoff. He's going to have to run out to the right side and was never able to get around the corner as he's going to be pushed out of bounds at maybe the 9. Looks like they will spot him at the 8. So they'll just say it was back to the line of scrimmage. So a big couple of plays coming up for the Dragons, looking to tie this game up with a touchdown. Now, 4 receivers are spread out. The 2 tight ends are on the outsides, and Reinhardt and Schmelzley are in the slot. So targets galore out there for Lalamandeer. And Brewer off to Lalamandeer's left. Now dropping back. Pressure's there. And the pass hits off the hands of Drew Schmelzley, and he dropped it in the end zone. He had the ball, couldn't reel it in. 4th down and 7. And goal to go. 7:27 on the clock. And a huge play coming up for the Dragons. Receivers shaking and baking everywhere. I think we just had A.J. Gons come in as a receiver. Meyer comes to the near side of the field. Lalamadier's going under center. This has to go into the end zone, and they decide to just hand it off to Brewer, who gets chopped up as soon as he gets the ball. Results in a turnover on downs. That incompletion to Schmelsley is huge. It hit him in the hands as he was standing with his feet just on the other side of the goal line. Couldn't reel it in. And now, a situation where you got a screenplay down to the 20. We're awarded 10 yards on a penalty. 4 downs later, nothing to show for it. Down by 6. And a turnover on downs. The Kennett Indians offense comes back out on the field with a 6-point advantage, 27-21. Wilson in shotgun, twins left, twins right. Single man in the backfield, takes the play action, now pulls it out late. And Wilson in open space, that's dangerous. Spins, jukes, and works his way down to the Kennett 40-yard line. A big run again from Edward Wilson, gets down to the 40. Another big run for this Kennett Indian quarterback. That one goes for 29 yards. I'm going to run out of space to keep his stats in just a minute. Kennett lines up, twins right, single receiver left. Now the handoff goes up the middle, and it's going to go to Edgington, who's met at the line of scrimmage. Forward progress should give him about a yard. He was driven back by the Dragons. St. John needs a stop here. Momentum was definitely their way going into halftime. A big turnover has kind of deflated that. Then a drive that was in the red zone coming up with no points. As limping off of the far side of the field for the Indians was MC Hudson. That might hurt him later down the stretch. Right now they're spread out, 3 receivers, 2 on the right. The handoff goes, no, they're going to keep it himself and let it run right up the middle. That's Wilson again. He's such a dynamic individual coming out of the backfield as he can throw, he can run, he can work the play action, and the read option has been effective for them. But now they face a 3rd and 5. On the 45, on their own 45. A big play right here for St. John. Wilson takes the shotgun snap. They're going to work the option. He cuts it back inside. First down and then some. All the way up to the 46-yard line. Another big gain for Wilson. And a lot of these big gains are coming on 3rd down. And these 3rd down gains are what's keeping Kennett out front at this point in time. Now we go twins left, twins right. Wilson in shotgun. Childress in the backfield. Sends Hawkins in motion from the near slot. And the handoff fake to Hawkins to Childress up the middle. Childress hit 5 yards in and knocked down after a 6-yard gain. That's the 8th carry for Childress. And their quarterback, Wilson, already has 17 carries. 5:14 to go in the 3rd quarter. Twins left, twins right. Wilson now puts Edgington into motion. Hands it off, it goes left. Not going to get the first down and tackled short of the marker. That'll set up a 3rd and short as another handoff goes to Childress. Well, Childress now starting to be more of a factor here in the second half as we work our way into the 3rd quarter. Inside of 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Now trips off to the right. Wilson in shotgun, lined up on the far hash. A single receiver on his left and 1 man in the backfield. There's the snap, and he's going to keep it himself, get the first down, go down the left sideline. They got to bring him down. He gets out at the 20-yard line.
Wilson.
And they're going to spot him right at the 20, so a 16-yard gain. And play after play after play after play, he just keeps getting positive yards. 18 carries, only 1 touch for negative yards. 1st and 10 on the 21. Hawkins from the slot, in motion. Handoff out of the backfield to Childress, who maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, a yard there. So Childress, much more of a factor on this drive than he has been in any other.
Ball's on the 20-yard line.
Pixley's going to spread out wide to the right. Hawkins in the slot right. Gooden in slot left. Wilson in shotgun. Gooden in motion. Handoff to Gooden. He comes around to the near side. Can't turn the corner. He brought down by the shoelaces. Great tackle by DeRouche. Clock continues to run. 3:37 remaining in the third quarter. DeRouche, a big tackle there. The crowd gets into it. 3rd and 5 on the 16-yard line. Back in the red zone are the Indians. They've had one drive end in the red zone today on an interception. Every other time they have capitalized. 3rd and 5 on the 16. Wilson asks for motion from the far side. Gets it. Edgington doesn't take the football. Wilson, open space, touchdown once again. 16-yard run. This kid cannot be stopped. 16 yards to pay dirt. 6 more on the board. It's now 33-21. The extra point coming up in just a moment. Let's see if they go for the 2-point conversion or just decide to just kick it. Looks like the offense is going to stay out and just going to go ahead and try to get the standard score back. Try to make it a 14-point lead. Wilson looks to the left. He's going to jump. He's into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. 35-21. St. Gen in trouble. They could have just tied this game a moment ago, but a turnover on downs, and Kennett flies down the field and takes a 14-point lead once again. Now it is going to be a 2-score deficit for the Dragons, and now the official with a flag into the end zone comes out and signals the 2-point conversion was good. So now 35-21. Kennett back out front by 14. They led by 14 in the first quarter. 3:08 to go in the third quarter. And St. Gen about to get the football after the touchdown by the Indians. 3:08, 35-21 Kennett. We're back in 30 on MIMOinfo.com.
If you're thinking about building, remodeling, or have any project in your future, stop by County Do-It Center in St. Genevieve and Bloomsdale. You'll find everything needed for the do-it-yourselfer or professional contractor. Check out the Do It Best quality paint line, one of the fastest growing private brands in the industry. The best look self-priming interior or exterior paints comes with a lifetime warranty, so you know they'll stand the test of time. At County Do-It Center, they have what you need in lumber, hardware, and Do It Best quality paint. County Do-It Center is a proud sponsor of high school athletics.
It's 35-21 with 3:08 to go in the third quarter, and the Kennett Indians are back out front by 14, trying to pull off the upset this evening, coming in as the number 6 seed, trying to come here and knock off the number 3 seed St. Genevieve, and right now they're in control. Back-to-back drives by the Dragons, stall out, or turnover, and then a stall out, and Kennett turns both into points. After the penalty on the 2-point conversion, a penalty against the Dragons now puts the ball on the 40-yard line, on the 45-yard line after a 15-yard penalty. And this one's going to get kicked deep. Here comes the kick from the Indians, and it is shot out of the back of the end zone. And again, the drive for the St. Gen Dragons will start on their own 20-yard line. I want you to know we're brought to you by Midwest Sports Center, St. Gen Care Center, TG Missouri in Perryville, and Kettle Hut Smokehouse in Crystal City. Again, a 14-point lead for the Kennett Indians. This game was tied at 21 at the break. Kennett 14 points in the third quarter, much as they've scored 14 points in the first quarter. They've scored in every quarter so far. St. Gen only has scored in the second quarter. All 21 points came in the second. The offense back out for the Dragons. Lalamadir under center, 4 receivers spread out. Lalamadir now throws a quick pass, had Giesler open down the seam, and just threw it out in front of him. If he would have been able to complete that, Giesler might have been able to break a big touchdown. But it just goes down in the stat sheet as an incompletion. So at one point, Lalamadir 6 of 7, now 7 of 12. Struggled in the second half so far. Again, trips left, single receiver right. Brewer in the backfield, Lalamadir under center. They work the hard count. Now he's going to drop back. And they're definitely changing the play. Lalamadir thinks they're going to have blitz, and it was a direct snap to Brewer that went terribly wrong. And the whistle comes in late. And they might just mark this down as forward progress for a yard. An interesting play call there. St. John has to get something going on this drive. I think with the way the Indian offense has been rolling, if they get another score, you're not going to be able to catch them. Lalamadir in shotgun, drops back, looks to his right. Now throws one over the top to Brewer, got him in stride. He cuts back, makes one man miss. Back across, gets the first down. A good play set up that time after an odd play by the Dragons. Gets a first down, a 12-yard catch for Austin Brewer. And the first completion in quite some time for young Wyatt Lalamadir. Now the same formation with that trips left in shotgun. The single receiver to the right, Brewer in the backfield, offset left of Lalamadir. They work the hard count once again. Get the defense to tip their hand some. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the line of scrimmage. One linebacker behind that. Now here comes the snap. Lalamadir rolls to the near side. He's going to have Reinhardt rolling down the side, not able to see it. Now he just slings one, and it's intercepted by Gooden at midfield. Should have not thrown that pass. A bad pass after a pressure situation. You have to give credit to the Kennett Indians for putting pressure on Lalamadir and making him throw that pass. But that's a mistake a young quarterback makes that a veteran, a senior, likely would not make. When you're in that situation, you'd rather see him either take the sack or just throw the ball out of bounds. Instead, he throws it down the left side of the field, and it's picked off by Gooden. Now Kennett back out with a 14-point lead, and they're starting this one on the St. John 43. Wilson in shotgun. 4 receivers, 3 on the left side. Now ask for motion from Hawkins out of the slot. The handoff pulled out by Wilson. And he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, a couple yards for him before he is brought down. That's the 20th carry for the quarterback of the Indians. Kennett gets to come back out after another takeaway. That's 2 takeaways just in the third quarter, so 2nd and 9 now on the 42. Twins left, twins right. In the backfield is Joe Pittman with Wilson, who is in shotgun. Now motion is Gooden from the far side. The handoff faked and to Wilson, who spins across the line of scrimmage for a couple of yards. It'll set up a 3rd and short yardage situation on the 21st carry of the day by Wilson. Ball is on the 38-yard line. 3rd down and 5. For St. John, you know it's going to Wilson. You know. I mean, he might run the read option to the far side. That's what they've done most of the night. Now here comes the snap. And it's handed off to Edgington, who gets across the first down marker. And the football comes out, rolls backwards, and St. John's going to come up with a big stop. A little bit of luck rolls their way as the ball pops out, not able to recover it. But it's going to be 4th down and about 5 yards to go. So the fumble, after Edgington got across the first down marker, is recovered 4 yards behind the first down marker. So 4th and 4. And Kennett's offense is still on the field. This is a huge play, but we're going to wait until the 4th quarter to do it. As we end the 3rd quarter, St. John is in trouble. It's 35-21. The number 6 seed Kennett Indians lead on the road over the number 3 St. John Dragons, 35-21. It's 4th and 4 for the Indians on the St. John 37 when we come back to start the 4th quarter on J98 Web TV for MyMoInfo.com.
TG Missouri in Perryville, Missouri is hiring new team members to create products for the largest automotive brands in the world. While working with the most advanced manufacturing technology in the Midwest, TG Missouri employees enjoy a full gamut of benefits, growth opportunity, and personal time off, with earning potential of $11.50 to $13.75 per hour after 90 days. If you're ready to earn more, with benefits and opportunity for growth, then give us a call at 844-WORK4TG. That's 844-967-5484, or visit us online at work4tg.com.
12 minutes remain in this contest. It's Week 10, Round 1 of the playoffs, and right now the number 3 seed is down by 14 points. 35-21 as we start the fourth quarter, and Kennett has their offense on the St. Gen 37 facing a 4th and 4. This is a pivotal play in this football game. St. Gen needs a stop, and it looks like they're going to go ahead and kick it away for Kennett. And before the play even gets underway, they're lined up to punt. And Kennett calls a timeout. So as they call a timeout, we'll do the same. We'll be back in 30 seconds on Web TV.
Did you know that Earth Mother Health Foods, LLC is owned and operated by our family for 24 years here in Farmington? This is Mary Lee. I would like to thank all of our customers for allowing myself and our well-informed staff to help you live a healthier life the natural way. We have expanded to now 4,000 square feet to include V-Tree Originals, custom tie-dye and art by our daughter Vicki the artist. That's Earth Mother Health Foods in downtown Farmington.
We are awaiting the start of the fourth quarter. When we start that fourth quarter, it's 4th and 4 on the St. Gen 37 for the Kennett offense. Kennett leads this game by 14 points at 35-21. And we are about to get things back underway. The offense is back out for the Indians on a 4th down and 4. Wilson takes the snap, rolls to his right, and he's throwing it deep. And he's got a receiver there. Gooden makes the catch, and he's going to get into the end zone. A 37-yard touchdown pass on 4th and 4. And Kennett strikes again. A huge play. The first completion for their quarterback, their third-string quarterback, Wilson, goes for 37 yards and a touchdown. And St. Gen is on the ropes. They are in trouble right now. It is about to be a serious situation if you're the Dragons. Here comes the snap, the kick. And the kick goes up and through. It is 42-21. Kennett doubles up the Dragons to start the fourth quarter, and the Indians run off the field. The Dragons are slowly walking off of the field. We're going to take a timeout, and it'll be St. Gen football when we come back in 30 seconds on Web TV.
There's a new barbecue place in Crystal City where homemade is the only way. Kettle Hut Smokehouse specializes in blues, brews, and BBQ. Most everything they serve starts out as ingredients, not boxes, bags, or cans. From slow-smoked fresh baby backs down to the sauces they serve, all made on site. If down home, made from scratch, melt-in-your-mouth barbecue sounds good, Kettle Hut's will be your new favorite restaurant. Come see why folks are saying Kettle Hut Smokehouse is hands down the best around.
We have just gone 7 seconds into the fourth quarter, and on a 4th down and 4, it was a 37-yard touchdown pass from Wilson to Gooden to double up the St. Gen Dragons here in St. Genevieve. They trail by 21 with 11:53 to go in the fourth quarter, and huge implications on this football game. It's lose and you're done. Here comes the kick, and it is a rocket fielded by DeRouche at the 5, who slips and falls. And now they're going to have to start a drive on the 6-yard line. The frustration starting to show for St. Gen. Schmelsley rallying the troops. He does not want to end his career on a game like tonight. A lot of these seniors, Drew Schmelsley, Joe Allen, Andrew DeRouche, Luke Gettinger not able to play tonight. Harrison Walmack, David Ringwald, possibly the last game that they can play. The offense for the Dragons comes back out on the field. 11-12 on the clock. 1st and 10 on the 7. Lalamandir is in shotgun, deep in their own territory. Trailing by 3 scores are the St. Genevieve Dragons. Now they put 11:32 back onto the play clock. The snap. And in pressure. Oh, throws it out to Tate Meyer on the near side. Meyer comes up with the catch. Gets out to about the 14-yard line. So 7 yards for Tate Meyer. And moving it down the field are the Dragons, but they've got a lot of work to do if they want to play next Friday night. Lalamandir, twins left, twins right. Brewer in the backfield. And Lalamandir is going to line up in shotgun. 9 on the play clock. 7, 6, and in motion from the far side. Lalamandir hands it off up the middle. It goes to Brewer for a couple yards. And he's going to be brought down. Looks like 2 yards short of the first down marker. The offense stays spread out with a 4-receiver set, 2 on either side. Lalamandir keeps it himself, takes off running to the left side. He's got some room. He's going to get out of bounds, stop the clock, and get the first down. Clock stops at 10:50. That'll give a fresh set of downs for the St. Gen offense. But they've got a lot of work ahead of them. 42-21 is our score here in the 4th quarter. 1st and 10 now on the 19-yard line. Lalamandir in shotgun again, twins left, twins right. Brewer offset right in the backfield. Here's the shotgun snap. Lalamandir rolls to the near side. He throws, got Schmelsley. Schmelsley makes one man miss, gets across the 30, stays on his feet to the 34-yard line before he's brought down. Their offense has to hurry up, and they are just leisurely going back to the line of scrimmage with 10:42 and 3 scores and a lot of time left on the clock. You still have to get stops from Kennett, which you haven't done in some time. Now again, that same formation. Lalamandir with the shotgun snap, looking downfield, pump fakes, and he's going to be, no, he evades the tackles in the backfield, tucks and runs to the 40, down to the 45 before he steps out of bounds. Clock stops at 10:26, and they'll give him the first down yardage. So 2 carries for Lalamandir to extend their drive. But St. Gen has already taken over a minute off of the clock on this drive and is still on their own side of the field. Now on the 45-yard line, that's Giesler, Reinhardt, Schmelsley, Meyer from the far side to the near side as the receivers. Lalamandir in shotgun, takes the snap, rolls to the near side. A lot of pressure in his face, has to throw, has Meyer. Meyer needs to get out of bounds, and he does at the 44-yard line of Kennett. So 11 yards for Meyer.
First down.
His 5th catch of the night, and it stops the clock at 10:19. So they've got the right game plan going. Lalamandir in shotgun, same receiver formation. The only difference is now Brewer in the backfield. It's on Lalamandir's left. Awaiting the shotgun snap. Now he puts Brewer on his right. There's the snap, fake the handoff. A lot of pressure, has to throw it low. I don't know if it was caught. They're going to say yes, he did come up with the catch. Tate Meyer, a great catch there at the 40-yard line. Just a 4-yard catch, but sets up short yardage situation. Unfortunately, it will wind the clock as soon as they spot the football. Now back in shotgun again. Lalamandir looks left, throws it across the middle, hits Giesler just short of the 30. The football comes out. The football comes out, no signal yet. Incompletion is the call on the field.
Passing complete.
So what would have been a disaster if it was an actual fumble, because Kennett was all over it, just goes down as an incompletion, and the Dragons face 3rd and 6 on the Kennett 40. Shotgun for Lalamandir with 4 receivers. Rolls to his left. He's got Reinhardt. Doesn't see him downfield. Now he throws it over there and nearly intercepted again by the Kennett Indians. Lalamandir under pressure. That time he got away with a wild throw downfield. The first time it was picked off. So tonight they've had 2 turnovers that have resulted in points and a couple of broken plays. And Kennett has taken advantage. 9:38 to go, and it's 4th and 6 on the 40-yard line. St. Gen has to get the first down here. Lalamandir looking downfield. He comes up throwing, and he skips one in the dirt. Turnover on downs for the Dragons, and the Kennett Indians are already putting hands in the air. And they have every bit of the momentum right now and control of this football game, and the body language is indicating exactly that. Hands on the hips for the Dragons, and you got people running off of the field, jumping around for the Kennett Indians. St. Gen is looking like they've already lost this game. 9:30 on the game clock in the 4th quarter. 16 on the play clock and counting. Wilson in shotgun for the Indians. Awaits the snap. There it is. And he's going to work the play action, keep it himself, go up the middle for 5.
Number 25, Wilson.
Wilson has been the spotlight of this game all night long. 22 carries now. Well over 200 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, and a passing touchdown. He's done a little bit of everything tonight. Twins off to the right. Motion from the near side is Gooden. The handoff is Childress in the backfield, and he was met in the backfield by Dowdy. Dowdy gave him a good lick in the backfield, but the clock continues to run. And if you're Kennett, use every second of that play clock. You are in control of this one. Still exchanging personnel for the Indians. Right now they have a 4-receiver set with Trips on the right. Wilson. Now they're exchanging in another lineman. They only had 4 down. Now here comes the right tackle. Wilson in shotgun, takes the snap, and he's running to the near side immediately. And he's going to get just short of the first down, maybe a yard short. But every time he touches the football, 5 yards, 6 yards, and eventually he breaks one for 15, 20, 17, and he's even broken one for 80 so far tonight. It's unbelievable what he can do, but on a 4th and 1, you know they're going right back to him. So if you're St. Gen, spy the quarterback. Here he goes again, and they're not going to get him. He's going to get the first down and then some. Across the 40, shakes one tackler down to the 35. He just makes people miss all the way down to the 33-yard line. As I said, he goes for 5, he goes for 6, he goes for 4, and then he pops one off for 18 on 4th and 1. If they can keep doing this, Kennett's got this game, and they're moving to the next round. Taking their sweet time, and that's exactly what you want to do if you're the Indians right now. Coming up with a 3-receiver set, but a pistol formation now. Gooden goes in motion into the backfield, handoff to Childress up the middle. Childress met at the line, and a flag comes out late at the end of the play from the back judge.
Flag on the play.
And the penalty is against the St. Gen Dragons. 7:06 on the clock, and I think time is running out on the Dragons. This game was tied at 21 going into halftime. Since then, Kennett has piled on another 21. St. Gen hasn't scored a single point. And the place is quiet. I'll pause for just a second, and you hear nothing in the crowd. Hear a couple people. The people that you just heard cheer are the Kennett fans on the opposite side of the field. A lot of time for play to resume. And there is the whistle to get things back underway. The clock starts to wind. When the snap happens, we'll be inside of 7 minutes. Now Twins right, Twins left. And Childress in the backfield with Wilson, who is in shotgun awaiting the snap. There's the snap. Handoff to Childress up the middle. Makes one man miss, and he's brought down just across the 20-yard line. 6 yards for Childress.
Tackle made by number 83,
Tate Meyer, the tight end / linebacker for the Dragons, coming up with the play. Possibly Tate Meyer's final game in a St. Gen uniform tonight. 6:26 on the clock and counting. 15 on the play clock. Twins left, Twins right for Wilson. Childress offset left in the backfield. And here's the snap. Wilson pulls it out late. And he's running off to the near side. And they finally corral him in the backfield. And Wilson is going to lose a yard on his 25th carry. 6 minutes now. And we'll keep the play clock frozen. Now they start to run the play clock. 5:50 and counting on the game clock. And 2 receivers go to the right side for Kennett. 2 to the left side for Kennett. Wilson in shotgun. Childress in the backfield with him. Edgington into motion. Handoff to Edgington. He's not going to get around the corner as St. Gen brings him down right at the first down marker. It'll be 4th and very short for the Indians in just a moment. But if they get a first down here, it's safe to break out the ink pen. You might be able to write their name into the next round. And have an upset brewing here tonight. And what could be Coach Bob Stolzer's final game as the head coach of the Dragons. 5 minutes to go. Wilson keeps it himself, jumps through. He's going to get the first down and a couple of more. That's going to guarantee the Indians to at least run another minute and a half off the clock, minimum. Some of the other scores around the area, upsets brewing everywhere now. A 20-13 lead in the 4th quarter for Fredericktown over Potosi. I saw that one coming a little bit. Farmington getting rolled by Sykeston, 55-14. Madison College Prep, a 1-point lead over Herky in the 4th at 14-13. And we still have 4 minutes here at this one as the handoff is dropped. I don't know if St. Gen came up with it, but that would be huge if they did. A flag comes out well after the play. I imagine a flag for some extracurriculars. No signal yet as the officials are discussing it. It was a 1st and 9. The football popped out. They're going to say it's going to stay with Kennett. Now the penalty goes against Kennett. It's unsportsmanlike now. You don't like to see that at any level of sports, but especially the high school level. So Kennett will be backed up after being inside the 10-yard line for the unsportsmanlike conduct. So that is an advantage for St. Gen by a great deal. You have a much better chance now backed up to the 24 to keep the Indians out of the end zone. But with 4 minutes and you haven't scored in this second half, you've got a lot of problems. For a team that has had great halftime adjustments all year long, they just haven't come out and performed in the second half. In shotgun with 3 receivers left, 1 right. It's Wilson in the backfield with Childress. There's the snap. It's low. Wilson keeps it himself, running to the near side across the 20, 15, 10 before he's brought down. No flag down. I thought I saw a flag come out at the end of the play. Maybe not.
Flag on the play.
There is a flag down. A hold on the Indians, so that'll back them up and erase the run by Wilson. 4:03 on the clock, and the Kennett Indians have a 21-point lead with not a lot of time remaining. A lot of things weighing on the St. Gen Dragons, a number of seniors on this team tonight, not wanting to end their career with a home loss. Coach Bob Stolzer, who has been the head coach for 25-plus years for the St. John Dragons, looking like this may be his final game as the head ball coach of the St. John Dragons. 4 minutes, and St. John trails by 21. Kennett, 2nd and 31. Now they look to run right with Wilson. Had the option going right. He decides to keep it himself and get a couple of yards there. It'll bring up 3rd and long. But at this time, you're kind of postponing the inevitables the way the Indian offense has been operating this evening. 2nd and 31 is not a big deal. They've had 31-plus yard runs multiple times. They've had an 80-yard run, a 40-yard run, a 50-yard run. Granted, most of those are coming from the quarterback position. Their offense has been pretty efficient. Now 3rd and 32. 3 receivers left, and now it's Pittman in the backfield. Dropping back and throwing to the end zone. He's got the receiver there and knocked away at the last second. A big play by Seibel. A great defender out there. Now 4th and 32. Yes, 4th and 32. That's real. 3 minutes and 13 seconds. And the play clock now at 22. Just over 3 minutes, and St. John trails by 21. The percentage of them getting back into this game decreases as every moment goes by. Looks like they're going to line up for the field goal. Ball on the 32, so it's a 49-yard field goal. Not going to make it. About 8 to 10 yards short. So a missed field goal on 4th and 32. Keeps this game at a 21-point deficit with 3:11 on the clock. And looks like that looks like a bad injury as one of the Kennett Indians is being taken off of the field. That was number 89, Michael Richmond. I'm not sure if he was the one that was kicking, but there was no contact on that. No contact injuries are usually ligament tears, strains. That's going to be tough for the Indians if he has to be a big part of their game next week. Now this Dragons offense back out onto the field. That's Tate Meyer lined up on the near side. Reinhardt, Schmelzli, Giesler on the far side from the near side out. And Brewer offset right of Lalamadeer in the backfield. Shotgun snap to Lalamadeer. He looks left. He's throwing over there. Reinhardt on the screen. Not going to be able to get a big gap out of it, but able to get 10-plus yards before he's pushed out of bounds. A 15-yard catch for Logan Reinhardt. They worked a screen on him again. He's got 2 catches for 21 on the day. That was the 19th pass attempt for Lalamadeer. He's 12 of 19. Now a 4-receiver set again, 3 on the near side. Lalamadeer in shotgun. Brewer just ahead to the right of Lalamadeer in the backfield, so you imagine he's either pass blocking or going out for a pass. 3:03 on the game clock. Here's the snap. Lalamadeer rolls to the near side of the field, looking downfield, throws, hits Reinhardt, who's knocked out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Well, they spot him just across the 40, so they give him a few extra on that. So 7-yard catch for Reinhardt. Lalamadeer really having a fairly good passing day. Just had that one stretch where he wasn't effective. Threw the one interception that really broke this game apart. Lalamadeer under center this time. Hands it off to Brewer up the middle. An interesting play call when you're running out of time, trailing by 21, to run the ball in between the tackles. Pretty much you need to start airing this thing out unless you're conceding defeat. And I don't think that's something that St. John football or any of these 3 fantastic coaches on this staff would do. Maybe they're just setting up some play action. 2.5 on the game clock. 4 receivers spread out, 3 on the far side. That's Meyer on the near side. The handoff is up the middle to Brewer. Maybe that's why you do it, because you can break a big run. Brewer makes the man miss to the 20, to the 15, 10, 5, makes another one miss and gets in the end zone. Austin Brewer, a big time run, 58 yards and into the end zone for the St. Gen Dragons' first score of the second half. Now 27-42, the extra point to come. The crowd back into it, 2:12 on the clock. I wondered for a moment why they were running the football, and they made me look silly. A 58-yard run for Austin Brewer on his 19th carry of the afternoon goes to the end zone. Schmelzley set for the extra point. Snap, hold, kick. Up and through. Now 28-42. 2 minutes, 12 seconds to go in this game. 28-42, St. Gen trails, but I bet you we're going to have an onside kick in 30 seconds on J98 Web TV for MIMOinfo.com.
There's no place like home, but when age or illness turns home from a place of happiness into one of loneliness, it may be time to consider a healthcare facility. Whether your need is short-term rehabilitation or long-term care, St. Genevieve Care Center offers high-quality medical care complemented by a dedicated staff who offer warmth, wisdom, and the experience of caring, which makes their facility the next best thing to being home. Dignity, respect, care. St. Genevieve Care Center, 1010 St. Gen Drive in St. Genevieve. Medicaid, Medicare, private pay, private insurance, and hospice accepted.
It was a 58-yard rushing touchdown by Austin Brewer that put 6 on the board. Schmelzley knocked the extra point through, and it's 28-42. St. Gen still trails by 14 points, but able to get their first score of the second half to cut into that lead for the Kennett Indians. Now with 2:12 on the clock, the first thing that comes to your mind after that is onside kick. But you have to recover if you're St. Genevieve. Moments away from what is absolutely about to be an onside kick from the way Schmelzley's lined up. And now we have a flag. And it was from the farthest official. And it's a penalty against the Dragons. So maybe, do you question if you're going to go ahead and do the onside kick now? The penalty is against St. Gen, and that's going to back them up. Absolutely devastating penalty at this point in the game. It backs them up to the 35. You still, at this situation, are obligated to go for the onside kick. But now it looks like Schmelzley's lining up to kick deep. Now he steps to the far side. This will be an onside kick. Has to get to the 45 before the Dragons can touch it. And it comes up. And did it come up with the Dragons? I don't know yet. No signal. It hit one of the Indians right in the hands. A scrum broke out after. No signal, but it looks like it's Kennett football. 2:11 on the clock. A 42-28 game. The onside kick does not work for the St. Gen Dragons. And now for Kennett, you get to start a drive in St. Gen territory and a couple of first downs, and this is over. A big play you won't mind if you're Kennett to get back to a 21-point lead. But right now, you just need to think 3 plays first down, 3 plays first down. Because there's only 2 minutes and 11 seconds to go in this one. Be surprised if we saw much of a passing game, but they do have a 4-receiver set. It's going to be Wilson that keeps it himself, and they swarm him as he gets 2 yards. The clock will continue to run. It's now 2 minutes and counting. Wilson adds 2 more to his rushing total on his 26th carry. 2nd and 8. 1:45 and counting, 20 on the play clock. If they utilize the entire play clock, we'll be at 1:25 at the next snap. 3 timeouts still for St. Genevieve. 4-receiver set for the Indians. Wilson takes the shotgun snap, keeps it, runs right. He's got some room. He's going to get the first down and loses the football. He lost the football, and St. Gen recovers. The last thing that you want to do if you're the Kennett Indians right now is turn the football over because you know St. John can score in a hurry. They just showed you that a moment ago.
Ball recovered by number 2, Logan Seibel.
And now trailing by 14 with 1:21. St. John's offense has to score quick. 2 on the left side, 2 on the right side. Tight ends on the far spread outside of the formation. And the pass comes over the top to Schmelzley. Has to get out of bounds. Don't cut back inside. Goes out to the 45-yard line before he's pushed out. So now in Kennett territory, 6 seconds into your drive. 1 minute and 15 seconds on the clock. The ball is going to be spotted. A flag comes out into the backfield. And this play is coming backwards. Seems like every time the momentum starts to slide back to St. John, something just comes out of nowhere to get them. That time it's a hold on the opposite side of the play. And St. John, the percentage is in the single digits. 1:15 on the game clock. And now backed up with a 1st and 27 on their own 20-yard line is the St. John offense. We talked earlier on our Fleegs Equipment pregame show that we thought a lot of these teams were primed for upsets. I didn't think this would be one of them as Lalamandir again throws out to Schmelzley, who catches it, and he's going to be brought down at the 25-yard line. So there's a short gain for Schmelzley. Inbounds. And the clock continues to run on the 21st pass attempt from Lalamandir. Now the handoff up the middle to Brewer. Brewer's going to be, not brought down until he gets another 5 yards and right to the first down marker.
29, Austin Brewer.
So down to the 35-yard line. We'll have a timeout for the St. John Dragons. As now we're inside of 1 minute to go and trailing by 14. It's 42-28. Kennett leads this one with 44 seconds on the clock. A lot of these seniors, Drew Schmelzley out there starting tonight for the Dragons. He doesn't want to end his career. Number 20, Andrew DeRouche, a senior. Luke Gettinger, unfortunately not able to play tonight on the sidelines with an injury. Harrison Walmack, David Ringwald, Chase Lindsay, Tate Meyer, all seniors for this St. John ball club. And they're 44 seconds away from saying farewell to this football field. 2 touchdowns isn't impossible, but it's a stretch, and it's going to take a lot of things go your way to get there. You've already had 1 fumble go your way inside of 2 minutes. Now you have to make something out of it quickly. 4 receiver set for Lalamandir. Giesler, Reinhardt, Schmelzley, Meyer from the top of the field to the bottom. Lalamandir goes under center. Now the handoff to Brewer up the middle, and Brewer's going to be brought down just across the 40. 5 yards there for Austin Brewer on his 20th carry.
29, Austin Brewer. Tackle made by number 50.
That's going to bring up 39 seconds now on the clock. Another timeout called by the St. John coaching staff with 39 on the clock. We will likely keep it here for the rest of the game. I mentioned this just once during the broadcast. Coach Bob Stolzer, 25 plus years as the head coach of the St. Genevieve Dragons. And this is likely going to be his final game. Down by 14 points. It's lose or win or go home for the rest of the season for all of these high school football teams. And with a 14-point lead, Kennett looks like they're going to pull off the 6-3 upset in the first round. Lalamandir with 4 receivers. The handoff going to Brewer. Brewer stays on his feet, bounces outside. He's in open space, cuts back inside, and he's going to be brought down on the Kennett 35-yard line. Still dangerous, but running out of time is St. John. Already in formation. Lalamadir takes the snap, rolls to the near side of the field, throws, got Schmelsley at the 30. Schmelsley can't get out of bounds, brought down at the 29-yard line. A 14-yard gain for Schmelsley, but brought down in the field of play. And now St. John's going to have to use their final timeout. Just 19 seconds on the clock, fighting to the very last moment. The St. John Dragons. You knew they would utilize those timeouts in the final minutes, but now just 19 seconds. And the probability of them scoring 2 touchdowns is very low. It's not impossible, just not very probable. And this is likely going to be the final go for Coach Bob Stolzer, barring a St. John miracle. Play will resume with the ball on the 27-yard line of the Kennett Indians with a 2nd and 2 for the Dragons. St. John's offense already out, set up and ready to go. Meyer on the near side, Schmelsley in the right side slot. That is Reinhardt on the left side and Giesler out on the far end of the formation. The shotgun snap to Lalamadir, looks to the near side of the field, has to throw to the end zone. 14 seconds on the game clock, to the end zone. Tate Meyer, touchdown. 9 seconds on the clock, and St. John gets it back within 1 score. A lot has to go their way. After a stagnant third quarter, the offense comes to life in the fourth quarter, but maybe too late. It's 42-34, an 8-point deficit. St. John still to kick the extra point, and the onside kick will follow. But a lot has to happen for things to go right. Lalamadir looks to the near side. They're going to go ahead and go for 2 just in case. They do get the touchdown. Now with 2 receivers on either side of the formation. Lalamadir looks left, throws it. Reinhardt caught. 2-point conversion, good. This game has been uncontrollable for either team. It just seems like they alternate quarters for success. The first quarter, all Kennett. Second quarter, all St. John. Third quarter, all Kennett. Fourth quarter, St. John. But not a lot of time left. It's very likely if things go awry for this onside kick, this game could end right here. But I just don't think 9 seconds will come off of the clock on an onside kick. That St. John, if they don't recover this, it's over. Down by 6, 42-36. Kennett Indians, the 6th seed, leading in round 1 of the playoffs. And the most pivotal onside kick that you're going to have, it's about to come off of Drew Schmelsley's foot. Do you get to play next Friday night? It comes down to the next couple plays. And you don't get those next couple plays if you don't convert this one. Here it goes. Kick, skips, bounces, and recovered. Edgington for the Indians comes up with it. And they're going to come out and take a knee, and this ball game is over. We want you to know we're brought to you by Fleegs Equipment in St. John, Earth Mother Health Foods in Farmington, County Do-It Centers in St. Genevieve, and Midwest Sports Center, St. John Care Center, TG Missouri in Perryville, and Kettle Hut Smokehouse in Crystal City. It's round 1 of the playoffs, and this game is going to come to a close after the next play, 42-36. Kennett pulls off the upset. Here comes the final snap of the game for the Indians. And taking a knee is Wilson. That's your ball game in 5 seconds. Man, what a shame. Kennett goes on the road and knocks off the St. John Dragons. A lot of these kids' careers come to an end, their high school careers anyway, end tonight. And an illustrious career for Bob Stolzer comes to a close.